If you haven't already done so, go ahead and install the new sensor and close the cover. You can see how the clamp is set up to hold the pad in place in order to compress the caliper. So there's no need to use new pads. You want to use your old pad for this. So turn the clamp until the caliper is fully compressed. Pads don't have the anti-noise shims. Go ahead and put some brake lube around the middle area that plugs into the caliper on the inside pad, as well as around the area that comes in contact with the caliper on your outside pad. Now, prior to installing the inside pad, you're going to feed the sensor through the back of the caliper and connect it to the pad. So feed the sensor through the caliper, connect it to the pad, and then push the pad into the caliper. And you can see how the sensor is plugged in, coming from the rear of the caliper, connected to the inside brake pad. You're going to insert the outside pad into position on the caliper. Outside pad is in position, you'll be able to slide the caliper over the outside pad with the inside pad installed on the caliper toward the inside of the rotor. Now, if you properly compress the caliper, you'll have enough clearance for the caliper to slide over and into position so that you can reattach the slide bolts. So now we've remounted the caliper and are ready to reinsert the slide bolts. Be sure to lubricate the slide bolts using brake parts lubricant prior to reinstalling them. Now be sure that your wiring for your sensor is properly routed prior to reinstalling the caliper bolts. The wire, as it approaches the caliper, should be loose, not tight, and that's an indication that it's properly installed and routed properly. If you for some reason didn't route it properly, it may be easier to go to the sensor side, disconnect it and reroute it, than to pull all of this apart. And once you install the sensor onto the pad, you don't want to remove it from the pad. So if you need to reroute the wire, reroute it from this side, or disconnect it from this side, reroute it and reconnect the sensor to the harness. Now, once you've hand tightened the slide bolts, torque them down using a torque wrench to 22 foot-pounds of torque. So to reinstall the clamps, you're going to position them over the caliper bracket and just into the holes that are located here and here. So you're going to have these sections over the holes, and that top piece will go over the caliper bracket and then you're going to press it in. Okay? Hopefully that will help you with that process, as it's not very intuitive. After the clamp is reinstalled, you're then ready to remount the wheel. Torque the lug nuts for each wheel down to 90 foot-pounds. I hope you've enjoyed this Bullseye DIY video, and please go ahead and subscribe and comment if you like.